Previously, we indicated that our existing education systems, approaches and institutions need to change radically, and there needs to be an improved focus on the learning processes for lifelong learning. We have also highlighted some of the national approaches governments can take to support facilitating adult learning and lifelong learning. The Embracing Culture of Lifelong Learning report by UNESCO Institute of Lifelong Learning outlines a transformative vision for lifelong learning through 10 critical messages. We will examine these messages with examples and suggest further resources for your information. Lifelong learning is a continuous, comprehensive, from birth to death, outside and within the education systems, and can be done by anyone, anywhere, through various modalities, such as in-person, online, through distance learning. It encompasses all knowledge domains and requires responsiveness, flexibility, and proactivity. Lifelong learning and hence education systems should not have any dead ends, but have interconnections and pathways between formal, non-formal, and informal education, such as provided by recognition of prior learning and micro-credentials. Finnish education system prioritizes seamless integration of all forms of learning and provides flexible pathways where dead ends are only an exception. Recognition of prior learning, flexible study programs, and continuous learning opportunities help achieve this. Denmark is having similar system where merit-based university admission occurs in various ways, including for people without formal qualifications. Addressing complex global changes requires collaboration and cross-disciplinary approaches. Research on collaborative educational strategies can solve problems and advance a new culture or mindset of lifelong learning. Kastner draws on Freire's concepts of collaboration, emancipation, and social change and present interconnectedness of adult basic education as a practice and community-based participatory research for transformation. Vulnerable groups are still excluded from lifelong learning opportunities. Governments, NGOs, communities and individuals need to address these inequities so that all people have a good and fulfilled lives and no one is left behind. The BRAC is an NGO that provides adult education and literacy classes to rural women through community centers and trained community teachers. Courses focus on basic literacy, numeracy and life skills. A commons-based approach for lifelong learning emphasizes peer-to-peer collaboration in producing free or low-cost accessible learning resources using open-source digital tools. Leonardo Russo is transforming education through innovations like the Blind Communicator app, a low-cost solution that makes smartphones and tablets more accessible for the visually impaired. Digital technology is increasingly used in lifelong learning, but challenges like with the digital literacy and access to technology exist. Addressing these challenges provide benefits in lifelong learning. Michael Trusano provides insights and ideas to address these challenges through World Bank blog on technology for the poor and rural communities worldwide. Education institutions must equip graduates for current and future work and lifelong learning. This requires changes in organizational structure, programs, teaching methods, and focus on learning processes to improve quality and scale. Flexible, collaborative, digital, and anytime, anywhere learning are also necessary. This can mean using open, blended, and online learning approaches with different roles for libraries and other forms of learning support within digital spaces. UNESCO assists the Ministries of Education and other partners of Egypt, Ethiopia, and Ghana to design, pilot, test, and scale up technology-enabled open school systems. Schools in low-resource countries can be transformed into technology-enabled open schools and provide inclusive, equitable, and quality education and lifelong learning opportunities for all. Successful lifelong learning in the 21st century necessitates collaboration and community connections. Community-based problems demand community-driven solutions. A learning community education approach fosters shared responsibility and experience. These concepts of connection, collaboration, and learning communities are reflected in the learning cities and learning village concepts. The Barefoot College in India facilitates lifelong learning education connected to development in poor rural communities through education and training in solar and water engineering and computer literacy skills. They use a community-engaged learning community pedagogy. Advocating for lifelong learning culture in communities involves breaking away from conventional education norms such as emphasis on institutions, awards, curriculum, and teacher-centered pedagogical methods. The University of Third Age, an international volunteer-run organization, promotes and facilitates lifelong learning opportunities for mainly elderly and retired community members. Career-long workplace learning is vital for individuals and organizations in a changing world. Workplace cultures and resources may need adjustment to facilitate learning, and the line in between workplace and institutional and private learning is to be blurred. Work-integrated learning is an example of this, as in just-in-time learning when solutions are needed immediately. Efficient recognition, validation and accreditation together with the credit bank systems are necessary to integrate workplace learning as a part of education system. The SAE Institute of South Africa has work-integrated learning as a component of their vocational courses and strong connections and partnerships with the industry. Students can connect theory with practice and make career-defining contacts. Lifelong learning is a human right defined by the international conventions. Lifelong learning for the disadvantaged should ensure 1. Access to learning for all. 2. Resilience to withstand different crises and respond to individual needs. 3. Transparency and being open and freely available. Lifelong learning is an essential for national and personal prosperity, but it's often underfunded and undervalued. Effective policy, thoughtful design, investment and shift in institutional approaches are needed to support adult education and training to ensure equity in lifelong learning. This includes offering flexible programs, improving the communication of learning opportunities, and supporting the staff in lifelong learning initiatives.